Hi, my name is Michael Hicks, and this week I have chosen to discuss American Airlines. So, a little bit about American. They're the largest fleet currently operating. They do about 7,000 flights a day, and those flights take them to 350 destinations at 60 different countries. And their closest competition is the other three of the big four: United, Southwest, and Delta. American Airlines is primarily a passenger transport, but they also do cargo transport. And with the passenger flight, they do in-flight entertainment. Um, you can opt to purchase an internet connection to either play around or do work. For short flights, you can purchase drinks and snacks, and then for long flights, the food is included in the purchase of the ticket. They also have a loyalty program. You earn points by flying with the airline, and then those points can be used to get reduced prices on airfare or discounts at partners such as rental cars or hotels. And now on the cargo portion of this, since they don't have any designated cargo aircraft, all the cargo is under the belly or in the belly with the passenger luggage, and they transport just about anything and everything you can think of, from the smallest parcel to animals and everything in between. The market, American Airlines currently has the controlling share of the market at 17.5. Like I said, with the big four, Delta Airlines is coming in close behind at second, and then you have Southwest and United Airlines bringing up the second half, the second half of the top four. American Airlines actually earned about $44 billion in passenger revenue in 2022. And with their cargo operation, they actually ended up making a little over $1 billion in profit. Well, $1 billion isn't a whole lot when you compare it to 44 billion, but $1 billion of profit is still a considerable amount, especially if you're in a passenger operation. With American Airlines, they actually are the first scheduled cargo carrier that started in 1944, and they loaded a DC-3 with 6,000 pounds of cargo and flew it from New York to California. And that actually has a little bit of a point, because during COVID, when every airline was hemorrhaging money because nobody was flying, American Airlines decided to go back to doing cargo routes and use their fleet for cargo-only flights to help reduce the amount of money lost because nobody was flying. And American Airlines operates primarily on the hub and spoke model. They do have some point-to-point, but for the most part, they operate hub and spoke. According to American Airlines cargo company, which is American Airlines Cargo, they transport roughly 50,000 tons of cargo every week. And then with the with the $44 billion they made in passenger transport, that's thanks to the almost 200 million passengers that they transported in 2022. Like I said, they have the largest fleet with 949 aircraft, and they also have a smaller regional carrier called American Eagle. American Eagle is comprised of 6 different carriers, 3 of which, Envoy, Piedmont, and PSA, they are all owned directly by American, and then Air Wisconsin, Republic, and SkyWest are all contracted to fly for American Eagle. So you have the main airline, which is American, and then you have their feeder airline, which would be American Eagle. With the regulatory oversight for American Airlines, if it has wings or rotors, the FAA is involved. So the FAA is going to be there to make sure that everything that the airline is doing is safe and up to regulation. And if it's not, they're there to ensure that it is fixed in a timely manner. Since American Airlines is both a a passenger and cargo company. Their TSA is going to be involved because they need to verify that people coming onto the aircraft are not only supposed to be there, but everything that they bring out of the aircraft is allowed. And then with Customs and Border Protection, since American will be transporting cargo into and out of the United States, CBP needs to be involved to verify that they're not either bringing anything in that's prohibited or an invasive species, and they're not taking anything out that isn't supposed to be. So with American Airlines, the FAA, TSA, and CBP will all be involved on a regular basis. So with American Airlines being a large airline, they also do code sharing, and they code share with a very large amount of different airlines. And a quick glance, one of the biggest ones that I see up there is British Airways. There's also Qatar, and that's all. They're both large airlines, and they're partners with American, makes them even bigger. So American Airlines fleet structure. Like I said, 949 aircraft. They currently have 5 737s on order. They are currently flying the Airbus 319, the 320, the 321, and then the bulk of their fleet is comprised by the Boeing 737. They also fly the 777 and the 787. And looking at their flight map, on the right you can see the global map, on the left you can see the map for the United States. The map on the right, the United States and Mexico basically just looks like a whole bunch of dots. But if you zoom in to the picture on the left, you can see that the hub and spoke model that they operate by is very obvious. There's hubs in Arizona, New York, Florida, Chicago, Illinois, and Texas. With American's employees, they are currently employing roughly about 30,000 people. As you can see, in 2020 that wasn't necessarily the case. And that was primarily because of COVID. They were trying to do everything they could to prevent going under, and sadly part of that meant slashing employment. But once a handle got put on COVID, employment started coming back. The corporate culture of American is looking through their company. It kind of seems like Applebee's. When you're here, you're family. They do have some neat recognition programs. One of them is the Chairman's Award, and it's nominated by people all over the globe are nominated as long as they're team members of American. They're all treated to a great dinner at the headquarters in Houston, and then the people who are awarded the Chairman's Award also receive a $10,000 prize as a thank you. The American Airlines Family Fund is another one that helps struggling families of American Airlines team members. And in 2020, remember when they lost a whole bunch of employees because of COVID, they actually issued grants totaling more than $400,000 through that fund. And it's all supported by donations from other team members of American. The American Airlines Education Foundation, that is for the dependents of American Airlines team members. And so far they have awarded 293 scholarships, which total about $800,000. In 2021, they received a 100% rating for the Disability Equality Index. And, basically it's a great place to work if you have a disability inclusion. Now, granted, there are some things that you can't do, not because you're disabled, but the things that you would need to do are not something that they could accommodate. However, American Airlines has found a way to make the accommodations most beneficial for the most amount of people who have disability inclusions. And actually just yesterday I found that American Airlines has partnered with Google using their AI program to plan more efficient flight routes that reduce the formation of contrails. And it was a total of 70 flights over the course of 6 months, and out of those 70 flights, the contrail production was actually reduced by 50% because of this, because of Google's AI flight planning. Now, it did increase the fuel burn, but it only increased it by 2% on average. And since not all flights needed to be rerouted, that means that the fuel burn could be increased by as much as 0.2% for a 50% reduction in contrails, which are actually contributing to global warming. These are the references that I've used for this presentation. I appreciate your attention, and thank you for watching.